Doesn't it sound all good to be independent and strong? Yeah, until it goes wrong. Despite all the fairness and equality women supposedly fight for, the reality is that men and women will never be equal. And this goes beyond biological differences. It also has to do with how each gender is treated before the law. Right there, equality becomes unimportant and women get lots of privileges and concessions. The funny thing about this social engineering and programming is that it all boils down to a simple truth. You cannot maintain something unnatural for too long. This is pretty much like being a liar. Once you lie, you need to keep lying so that your narrative stays consistent. Otherwise, you'll be caught in a lie. The lies sold by mainstream celebrities like Cardi B, Doja Cat, Beyonce, and more do not help women get the man of their dreams.
The female role models in the West are very bad. You got Cardi B, Kim Kardashian, Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls. You got all these girls that are like telling women a bunch of bullshit. And here's the funny part. These girls, these strong, independent women, essentially become the man that they wanted in the first place. They become a boss babe. They make this money. They become successful. And what women don't understand is when you become a boss babe, what ends up happening is you take on masculine tendencies. And guess what happens when you meet a guy that's actually masculine? It's a clash.
In today's video, guys, you'll understand more about why the quote-unquote strong and independent woman narrative eventually goes wrong, why it's promoted all the time, and the agenda behind it. Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one. But before we go any further, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to Down to Stand Up. He said, "Remember fellas, Mgtow isn't about correcting their bad behavior. It exists to correct ours. Be strong, successful, and better yourself for yourself." You're absolutely right. There's no point in crying over spilled milk, guys. Do what you must to navigate this world, but not at the cost of your sanity. You cannot change the social programming and degradation of women in the West as a whole. There is no point in complaining mindlessly, guys, only to educate and serve as a warning, which is what we're trying to do. Please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5 for your comment of the day. As usual, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons too, as it helps a lot. And by the way, we're about to hit 20,000 subscribers, so consider subscribing to help spread the message even more. And now, back to the video. Embrace your masculinity. Many men learn the hard way that being a liar is extremely negative. Why? Because they tried to be someone they were not right until they showed their true colors. Then it's time to be genuinely strong and no need to fake. These modern women go through a similar process, namely, they give up on their feminine tendencies such as being homemakers, having kids, and whatnot because that's oppressive and patriarchal. The funny thing, or rather things, is that most of the women following this trend are not thinking for themselves. Note the word trend because the strong and independent woman ideas are just that. When you say that these women don't have an opinion of their own, people try to call you names, including but not limited to misogynistic. The reality, though, is that many of these women have benefited from lots of comforts many women in other countries don't have. For example, women in other countries do need to hustle and work long hours under the sun. However, modern women, especially in the West, are not thinking of working boring or quote-unquote jobs for peasants. They're so good and valuable that they deserve a CEO title and an office to command respect from a bunch of subordinates. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but you get the idea, right? And no, I'm not referring to women who really struggle because their husbands passed away or got into addictions like alcohol and drugs after being fantastic men. Modern women feel like they need to belong to a sorority where the struggles of one are the struggles of all members. However, instead of looking for solutions, for example, choosing better men, they think that becoming successful and even using their bodies as money-making objects is a form of independence. In multiple cases, they just follow someone's words but ignore their actions. Listen up.
Who do you think is a female role model? That will tell me a lot about you. Go ahead.
A female role model
Give
for
me
me?
give me a female role model, yeah, that you think
I
is
would
one.
say Beyonce.
Incredible.
Go,
yeah.
Queen.
I would have to.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, like, that's the person I want. Like, the person that I strive to be is somebody that's discreet. And I also, like, you know what I mean? Somebody that's
See, here's the thing
discreet
with
and,
Beyonce, because I talked about this in my book in a chapter. She is probably one of the biggest con women ever. She tells y'all strong and independent. She tells you guys, all the single ladies, she tells you guys, I can have another you in a minute, blah, 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 blah. But guess what happened? She went ahead and married Jay-Z, who has a higher net worth than her, okay? When he cheated on her, she ain't going fucking nowhere, right? And she's still with him. So she tells you and sells you the lie of feminism and being single and you can replace and all this other bullshit. Meanwhile, when it actually happened to her, she folded. So Beyonce is not a good role model. If you're gonna follow what her like mantra, if you follow her actions, maybe that's one thing. But what she sells y'all versus what she does are two different things.
Beyonce is a role model for modern women due to her so-called independence, and she tries to convey that message through her songs. However, she married a richer man and even stayed around him although he cheated on her. By the way, guys, I'm not telling you to cheat on women because decent men don't drag themselves down to that level. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that the female role models of today's world hardly practice what they preach, and if they do, they're not good role models anyways. I mean, being promiscuous, combative, and not listening to your partner is not a good rule of thumb, mainly because men's tolerance is decreasing day after day, and thankfully are not allowing women to use them for validation and money. Speaking of money, here's an interesting insight.
67% of marriages end in divorce. All right? But 80% of them are initiated by women. So you think divorce is this, you know, sort of this equaling the playing field thing for men and women, but it's not. It's mostly women leaving their men, leaving their husbands, destroying their families, strong, independent. Now, 93% of alimony is paid for men to women, so you can leave your man, but you can take all his money. It doesn't go the other way around. So if women are so strong and independent, why is that the case? Why isn't it the other way around? Well, 83% of women receive primary custody of their children. Those may seem like wins, but 72% of inmates in state prisons were raised by single mothers. So having babies, taking the money, taking the baby is only putting your children in jail. It's not helping anyone. So, congratulations.
That's right. If women are so strong and independent, why on earth do they need the ex's money? Well, we could call it greed because that's just what it is. Some women claim they need no man right until the biological clock starts ticking. Then it becomes very difficult to have a baby, and all the career money and material goods hardly guarantee she will live life comfortably. Plus, since this life is all about balance, when a woman brings lots of masculine energy to the relationship, she will have a hard time finding a man who thinks she's agreeable. To make matters worse, men are told that being emotional is okay and they should reconnect with their feminine energy. Come on. I'm not telling you guys to shut down your emotions to the point where you get sick. In a world of extremes where everything but balance and common sense is promoted, common sense becomes a necessity.
I also think that the independence is a kind of a smoky mirror. And what I mean by that is that, like, again, we're in a society that pushes the independence of women. Go out there, get your bag, go out there, do this, go out there, do that, right? So a lot of women move around with that mindset and fool themselves into believing that a relationship is not important. And then they go out there and they achieve all those things and they attain all those things, and then they end up wanting a man anyway, right? But in the process of chasing all those things, you've kind of removed the aspect of you that men value most. And what I mean by that is the femininity has left, right? I mean, let's just be honest here. Like you could still be somewhat feminine, but when you out there chasing what you chasing corporate wise and climbing that ladder, fact is that to be at a high level in those fields requires a certain level of dominance, certain level of aggressiveness, certain level of masculinity, right? So when you adapt those traits, you lose femininity every time.
By common sense, I mean simple ideas such as men who are masculine and women who are feminine, and an overall fair exchange of value between the two parts. However, women are told to bring other things to the table, and these things are not cooking, cleaning, and being good mothers. In fact, the rise of single mother households is another justification for these strong and independent women ideas. However, in the majority of instances, the single mom gets the bag from the single dad. Therefore, it's all a scam. All in all, the real agenda is nothing but the rise of dysfunctional relationships, unfairness, and even the destruction of the family unit. Many men dreamed of finding a wifey, but these days it all sounds like just that, a dream and not a viable option. Women are thinking of making money, having careers, and even doing other less decent things rather than committing to a man. Shockingly, these women claim they're strong and say men ain't shit, while either being subordinates of a male boss or a big corporation run by men or selling pics to needy men. It's funny, isn't it? They end up needing men in one way or the other, and in fact, they even say men ain't shit in the schools and universities who were built by, men. Let these women enjoy their delusion while you guys are genuinely happy by embracing Mgtow or whatever philosophy helps you grow as a person and ignore this decay. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? In your opinion, what do these women really mean by strong and independent? Ever dealt with this type of girl? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.